In the news tonight, appeal court declines Ayedatua's request for more time in city concerning event. Governor Akeredolu gets commendation for paying pensioners' allowances as and when due. NLC and TUC announced plans for nationwide strike over Ajaro's physical assault. And from the foreign scene, Israel rejects temporary ceasefire unless hostages are free. Thank you very much for joining us tonight on Osrc News at 7. I am Oyewumi Ayinigbara. The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has heard the appeal filed by the Ondo State House of Assembly against the exporting order granted by the Federal High Court, restraining the House and the State Chief Judge from proceeding with the impeachment of the State Deputy Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa. The appeal court held that the record of appeal compiled and transmitted to the Court of Appeal on the 20th October 2023 by the Ondo State House of Assembly and the appellant's brief of argument filed on the same date are properly transmitted, filed, and served according to the Court of Appeal Rules 2021. The court also heard argument on the motion to abridge the time for Aiyedatiwa to file his own brief of argument. The court also observed that the oral request by Aiyedatiwa's counsel for more time to compile and transmit an additional record of appeal is lame and shows indolence. The appeal has now been adjourned for ruling on the abridgment of time of a date to be communicated to the parties. For some months now, Ondo State has been in the eyes of Nigerians, especially on social media. This is basically because of the current political confusion in the state, which has no doubt eat up the polity. Omonion Launbeji takes a look at the political temperature of the state since governor's return to Nigeria.
On Thursday, 7 September 2023, Ondo State Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu arrived Nigeria after a 3-month medical trip to Germany. His return, as expected, was to attend to some important issues calling for his attention, sequel to his brevity, promptness, and proactiveness since he has power in 2016. On resumption, Governor Akeredolu relieved some aides attached to the office of the Deputy Governor of their appointment. Thereafter, some allegations of misconduct were leveled against the Deputy Governor by the State House of Assembly. Apparently, this raised the political temperature of Ondo State, leading to various protests with active participation of leading opposition party, PDP.
We have made a move to have a peaceful protest this morning. Unfortunately, when we get there this morning, we met people, police officers and others. They have still off our office.
And the situation of things that you are saying is that we wrote the security agencies, but we got there this morning and we saw that they actually stampeded our secretariat. We are citizens of Nigeria, Ondo State in particular, and we have the right. We are opposition party. We have the right to gather.
NUJ Press Center in the capital was not spared of this crisis as some groups stormed the Pen House to disrupt the activities of the Fourth Estate of the realm.
The political situation in Ondo State is rather, we cannot say it's unusual. This is not the first time that governor of any state will seek and return to work later. And this is not the first time the deputy governor will be served with impeachment notice or process. So there is nothing very, very unusual in what is happening in Ondo State. But it's now the way political gladiators are carrying it. They make it to look as if everyone want to fall. So what we are saying is that we as professional and we pride ourselves to be fourth estate of the realm. For instance, what happened at the press center where two groups came to this place, they want to hold press conference at the same time, at the same venue. So we have to we have to insist that we remain neutral.
Commissioner for Youth and Sports, Bamidele Ologunoluwa said, despite distractions, APC government in Ondo State is performing optimally.
I want to assure you and assure the good people of Ondo State that my governor is not incapacitated. The governor is working. Ondo State is moving. I don't know what exactly they want Ondo State people. They want in Ondo State that they don't get now. Is it in terms of governance? Everything is running. My ministry, for example, Ministry of Youth and Sport is running. We are working. We are doing what we need to do. We get approvals as a time due. So I don't know. So in summary, I want to tell you and assure you that all is well in Ondo State.
A social commentator, Mr. Olatubosun Awe, called for immediate resolution of all pressing political issues in the interest of the state.
The beauty of democracy is having a varied opposition. Because what the opposition does is to put the people in government, the party in government, on its toe. And the moment we don't have an opposition, to make a nonsense of democracy. But it is still expected it to be a kind of opposition that is not petty. It should be opposition that will drive the state towards development, not such that will drive the state backward. They should, if we are coming up with an opposition, with an opposing view, it should be such that is objective and constructive, not such that will put down the state and take us some 10 years backward.
Above all, government activities have never stopped despite distractions as workers' salaries are being paid as and when due. LCDA's creation bill has been signed into law. Local government election processes are going on while work on Oyarugu flyover project is ongoing. Omoriola Hungiji, Osrc News.
The Ondo State government says it would soon employ more well-to-man medical facility in the state. The Chairman, House Committee on Health, Ondo State House of Assembly, Dr. Christopher Ogulano, gave the assurance at a presentation of blood bank, refrigerator, and hospital bed sheets to Irili General Hospital in Irili local government area of the state. OS reporter Zimo Ebieme covers the event as presented from our studio.
The presentation of blood bank, refrigerated and hospital bed sheets by the chairman Ondo State House of Assembly Committee on Health was a unique one, as some political office holders were present to witness the occasion. Addressing the congregation, the chairman House Committee on Health and the representative of Irele State Constituency, Dr. Christopher Ogulano, appreciated members for standing by him at a time of need.
Our party is for everybody, because blood is life. Anybody to buy a medical with blood is life. It would be too bad if with shortage of blood, that's a scatter. For the blood.
Dr. Ogulano described blood as life, hence the need for the presentation of the blood bank, refrigerator, and other hospital equipment.
The reason is to complement government effort and to help our people. Because, like I said the other time, blood is life, and it will be too sad when somebody is in need of blood and you cannot really provide it. It makes the job of the doctor to be very difficult, and also the nurses. And with this small donation, I think it will go a long way to help lives in this local government.
Chairman, All Progressives Congress, APC Unirele Local Government, Adebayo Omoge, the medical director in charge of the hospital, Dr. Ayeshemini Abayomi, the former chairman of the council, and others described the donation as the first of its kind.
I'm highly impressed for the donation he has done today, and I'm quite sure that all the members of House of Assembly in Ondo State will do the same to their local government.
The one that he has supplied and has donated today, we will use it for the mankind and to the glory of God and for the entire Irele local government citizen.
He has come to fulfill one of his electoral promises. I'm elated, I'm happy.
The first time I'm seeing an honorable member coming to Irele. And Irele, we've been trying to get community support with them, but that is here today. I'm happy. the blood bank, in fact, the hospital has proposed to start set aside funds to get it, but he had come to give us today. So we are happy, and we know that God will keep helping him.
Thereafter, the medical director took the chairman, House Committee on Health, and his team round some units in the hospital. Some of those who spoke at the event also called on people to always check their blood pressure to avoid untimely deaths.
You're still watching Osrc News. At 7 after the break. NLC and TUC announce plans for nationwide strike over Ajero's physical assault. Please do join us then.
Iskilo, báwo la ti fẹ́ sanwó ni? Farabalẹ̀. 1,000. We go wash plate tire o. Farabalẹ̀ now.
Madam, hello ma. Brother, na 3,005. Màá fún yín ní owó òpè káàdì Glo ẹlẹ́gbẹ̀rún 10,000. Ó yá.
Bring your phone.
Ha! 10,000.
1,000 naira credit. Now you turn to 10,000.
No. All of us don't know about Glo Berekete. Ní ìlọ́po mẹ́wàá nísìnyí.
Ṣé o ti gbọ́? Ìlọ́po mẹ́wàá ló máa gbà lórí iyekíye tó o bá rà sórí ohun ìpè Glo Berekete 10.
Glad to have you back. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at OSRC TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel OSRC TV Ondo. The Nigerian Labour Congress NLC and the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria TUC have announced plans for a nationwide strike beginning on Wednesday, November 8, in response to the recent abduction and physical assault of their president, Joe Ajero. The incident occurred when Imo State Police Command allegedly acting on the orders of the state abducted Ajero from the State Council Secretariat in Owerri, where he was waiting for his colleagues to join him for a peaceful protest rally. According to the labor unions, Ajero was blindfolded, beaten to a pulp, brutalized, humiliated, and violated by the police personnel and taken to an unknown destination where he was subjected to more battering and torture, as well as threatened with death, before help came his way via the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, who ordered his immediate release. A statement by the General Secretaries Emmanuel Buaja and Comrade Nuhu Toro warns of an impending nationwide strike set to commence on Wednesday, November 8th, should the government fail to address their demands. The demands made by the labor unions include a call for the investigation and immediate removal of the Imo State Commissioner of Police, Ahmed Bade, due to his alleged complicity and unprofessional conduct. Additionally, the NLC and TUC demanded the treatment of other workers and journalists who had experienced inhuman treatment by the police, the restoration of their confiscated properties, and the implementation of all outstanding industrial relations issues previously agreed upon. Meanwhile, the Imo State government says the presence of the national president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Joe Ajero, in Owerri, the state capital, to lead a protest was in defiance of a court order. The government, however, denied having hands in the arrest and physical assault of the Labour leader. A statement by the State's Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Declan Emenumba, described those accusing the state government of having hands in Ajero's travails as mischief makers. It argued that the National Industrial Court had earlier stopped the strike, making the planned action illegal. Emenumba said information at the disposal of the government indicated that there might have been a fiasco between lawful workers of Imo State and lawless invaders from Abuja, which led to police intervention to maintain the peace. Nigeria has sought assistance from the United States government to address critical issues affecting the country's agricultural sector. Vice President Kashim Shettima initiated the discussion during a meeting with the U.S. Special Envoy for Global Food Fowler as part of his diplomatic engagement in the USA. Shettima assures the U.S. Special Envoy of Tinubu administration's readiness to collaborate with relevant stakeholders to enhance agricultural productivity not only in Nigeria but across Africa. He affirmed that Nigeria would sustain existing relationships with partners in the agricultural sector and nurture the alliance for continuous growth and development. In response, Fowler revealed that the U.S. government has initiated a groundbreaking agricultural program that would look at indigenous African crops, which had long suffered from massive underinvestment. Hallmark Secondary School Ondo has emerged winner of the 2023 edition of the UNIMED Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics Competition USTEM, organized for senior secondary schools in Ondo Kingdom. The competition, which is the third edition, started in 2021, aimed at developing passion for science and technology in the younger generation in the area. Joy Pius has more.
The third edition of the UNIMED Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics USTEM competition brought together students from various schools in Ondo to participate in the program. In his opening remarks, the Vice-Chancellor, University of Medical Sciences, Ondo, Professor Adesegun Fatusi, represented by the Dean, Faculty of Sciences, Professor Olufumilayo Omoba, said the competition is designed to serve as a platform to stimulate the passion among secondary school students who have interest in science-related subjects.
Environmental science has begun to take its pride of place as academic field that integrates physical, biological, and information sciences. One Health initiative for optimal health for all.
Taking the students on career opportunity in food science and nutrition, Professor Omoba harped on the opportunities attached to being a food scientist, charging them to be proactive.
On the importance of specific foods and nutrition, and you can develop meal plans for individuals to promote health and well-being. You can be a registered dietitian, that is, you counsel clients on nutrition issues and healthy eating.
The students were also tutored on the quality skills needed to be a good prosthetist and orthotist by Mr. Kola Okbatade.
One is patient assessment skill, measurement skill, ability to design simple prostheses and orthoses with appropriate materials.
A collaborative partner with the university, Dele Akinshade Foundation, represented by Ms. Nancy Damhindi, emphasized the need for introduction of technology to better the education system.
If at the secondary school level, students are introduced to skills that, soft skills, like Professor Elia said, soft skills that they know that they are viable and they can use them outside of their core discipline, it helps a lot, and there's no better way to start than now.
Mrs. Titilola Udo, who represented the Permanent Secretary, Ondo State Ministry of Education, Folashade Adegoke, thanked the organizers for contributing to the development of education in the state.
Many of us want to read medicine, we want to go for pharmacy, we want to go for law, whereas other groups, other courses, they are very relevant. You can see many. So in this regard, we want to appreciate you, UNIMED, for this annual program.
84 students from 29 schools in Ondo East and West were beneficiaries of the Dele Akinshade Foundation Scholarship Scheme. Hallmark Secondary School Ondo, who emerged winner of the 2023 USTEM competition after inventing a fearless generator using available materials, went home with a cash gift of 500,000 naira. Joy Pius, OSRC News.
Akwa Ibom State Government has signed a memorandum of understanding with Nigerian Navy for the establishment of the Ibom Fish City project. While signing the MOU at the Government House, the State Governor, Umo Eno, said the memorandum is in furtherance to his administration's vision of exploring the blue economy. He added that it would further solidify the existing relationship between the two parties. The governor, who recalled that discussions on the project started under the former administration when he was Commissioner for Lands and Water Resources, appreciated the management of the firm for being steadfast. The firm's managing director, Rear Admiral Amza Kaoje, appreciated the governor's commitment to the development of the state and commended him for setting machineries in motion to facilitate the project through the MOU, adding that the partnership deal would add enormous value to the state. And now on security issues, Kano State Police Command has confirmed the arrest of 24 suspects for offences such as drug abuse and other social vices. The Kano Police said operatives of the command arrested the 24 suspects while carrying out several clearance operations between October 26, 2023 and November 2, 2023. According to Kano Police Command, the arrests were in line with the directives of the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetoko, regarding the promotion of community-based policing and increased round-the-clock visibility patrols. It added that the drug dealers will be handed over to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Kano Command, for further action. The command also disclosed that the remaining suspects will be charged to court upon the completion of their investigation. In the meantime, the police in Plateau State have trailed a gang of kidnappers to their den, rescuing 6 victims and killing one of the kidnappers. Spokespersons for the State Police Command, Alfred Alabo, said the feat was part of its efforts to get rid of criminal elements in the state. Alabo said effort is being intensified to arrest the fleeing suspects and rescue all the victims. Meanwhile, the state's Commissioner of Police, Okoro Alawari, has assured Plateau residents of the police commitment to combat crime and criminality in the state. He vowed to do all within his power to ensure that all the 17 local councils continue to remain safe for all citizens of the state, warning kidnappers to repent from their crimes or leave Plateau State before the police apprehend them. The World Health Organization Framework Convention on Tobacco Control, FCTC, has restated the warning that tobacco in all its forms for consumption still remains a threat to life and human well-being. According to the WHO, FCTC, 8 million people lost their lives yearly to tobacco, either directly or indirectly. Ahead of the Global Tobacco Treaty intergovernmental negotiations in Panama, WHO FCTC Secretary Sabina Timko called for the regularization of the industry to protect lives. She said agency would continue to protect present and future generations from the devastating health, social, environmental, and economic consequences of tobacco consumption and exposure to tobacco smoke. And now we move to the foreign scene. Israeli forces have encircled the Hamas stronghold of Gaza City as it continues its assault on the Gaza Strip. The Israeli Defense Forces said soldiers were engaged in close quarters combat with Hamas fighters staging hit and run attacks from tunnels. The UN said 4 of its schools being used as shelters had been damaged and warned water shortages were worsening. Akitunde Akishimola has an update.
This footage from the Israeli military is said to show the intensity of fighting as Israel troops push further into Gaza City. Well, they say they've encountered fierce resistance from Hamas militants using guerrilla warfare. Civilian eyewitnesses say Israeli tanks are sometimes driving over buildings and rubble rather than roads. Similar video like this one released by Hamas, as well as eyewitnesses' statements from other civilians, suggest the militants are using their network of tunnels to emerge and disappear. The exact locations of the videos from Israeli forces or Hamas or the death toll in Gaza cannot be verified, but the Hamas-run health authorities say casualties have now surpassed 9,000 people. It comes as United Nations experts call for a humanitarian ceasefire, saying Palestinian people in Gaza are at grave risk of genocide. Meanwhile, in southern Gaza, where Israel ordered people to flee from the north, airstrikes and artillery shelling is making what's already a hellscape that much worse, with growing health risks like raw sewage spreading disease. This young girl is saying she has a headache and her stomach hurts. Her mother is sick from drinking polluted water. Israel has blocked off all power and fuel supply to Gaza and allowed in only a trickle of food and medicine as it presses its siege. It initially severed all water supply after October 7, but says it has restored it in southern areas. However, groundwater pumps and desalination plants are offline because there is no electricity. People are scavenging for wood to make campfire and cook food next to heaps of garbage. This woman is saying their suffering is indescribable. Israel's military said it was talking to medical agencies about setting up a field hospital for civilians in southern Gaza, first for the wounded and then specialized care. Over a third of Gaza's 35 hospitals are no longer functioning. Akintunde Akinshimola for Osrc News.
Still on the foreign scene, air pollution, a global scourge that kills millions of people yearly, is shielding the US from the full force of the sun, hence getting rid of it will accelerate climate change. That is the unpalatable conclusion reached by the scientists poring over the results of China's decade-long and highly effective war on pollution, according to 6 leading climate experts. Adirunke Kolawole has more.
Air pollution kills millions of people globally each year, but experts say efforts to clean the air may actually speed up climate change. It is an unintuitive finding that scientists found after poring over the results of China's decade-long war on pollution seas. The leading climate expert says they've highlighted what amounts to a climate catch-22. The drive to banning sulfur dioxide from atmosphere have saved thousands of lives, but it has also removed an effective shield against the sun's heat, will be a toxic one. Yang Zhengyan is a climate scientist at Texas A&M University.
Sulfur pollution works like particles in the atmosphere. They reflect sunlight, just like typical sunscreen.
President Xi Jinping pledged to tackle air pollution when he took power in 2012, following decades of coal burning that had helped the so-called factory of the world. And the new rules introduced power plants and steel mines were forced to switch to lower sulfur coal. Hundreds of inefficient factories were shuttered and vehicle standards toughened up the mayor's works. China's emission plummeted 87% between 2013 and 2021 to 2.7 million metric tons. But the drop in pollution was accompanied by a leap in warming since 2014. China's average temperatures have gone up by 0.7 degrees Celsius. According to the Reuters review of meteorological data and scientists interviewed, in fact, scientists say the removal of air pollution may have had a great effect on temperatures in some industrial Chinese cities over the last decade than the warming from greenhouse gases themselves.
Reduction of sulfur.
Venkatachala Raswamy is the director of the Geophysical Fluid Dynamics Lab at the U.S. National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration.
The floods observed in Region X, is that due to the sulfate reduction? Heat waves observed in Region Y, is that due to sulfate? Probably is. I mean, it probably is a causal factor, but exactly how they are related, how the mechanisms play out, this is still something that the scientists are still trying to tease out.
China's Environment Ministry didn't immediately respond to requests for comments. The problem is not unique to China though. Other highly polluted parts of the world, like India and the Middle East, could see similar jump and warming if they clean up the skies. So what is the answer? One proposal known as solar radiation management emission, deliberately injecting sulfur aerosol into the atmosphere to cool temperatures, but many scientists worry that could unleash unintended consequences. A more mainstream plan is to curb methane emission. This is seen as the quickest way to tame global temperatures because the effect of the gas in the atmosphere lasts only a decade or so, while more than 100 countries have pledged to reduce methane emission by 30% by the end of the decade. If we have gone further than drawing up action plans and pathways to cuts, China, the world's biggest emitter, has yet to publish its plan. Aduroke Olawole, Osrc News.
And with our reports, we conclude the news tonight. But before we go, a quick look at the top stories. We told you in the news that the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has heard the appeal filed by the Ondo State House of Assembly against the ex-parte order granted by the Federal High Court restraining the House and the State Chief Judge from proceeding with the impeachment of the State Deputy Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa. The court declined Aiyedatiwa's request for more time in the suit. The Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria have announced plans for a nationwide strike from next Wednesday in response to the recent abduction and physical assault of their president, Joe Ajaero. And from the foreign scene, we informed you that Israel has rejected a temporary ceasefire unless its hostages are freed from Hamas's captivity. And that's the news tonight. Thank you very much for your time. Good night.